Hello everyone now. You will hear a brief retelling of the film Battles Without Rules. The film is based on real events. Billy Moore is tight, sitting on banned substances. The Englishman moved over. In Thailand and in their spare time participate in Thai boxing matches. A young friend helped him prepare for today. Fight. Despite his days, Billy underperformed, resulting in a knockout. Rising to his feet, he aimed to continue, but his opponent scored with his feet during the evening match. Billy visited as usual, Ku nightclub. Dose and wandered through the streets of the city on. The next day to him, I broke into the house. The police were there. I hid the pills in the back passage and, attempting an escape, fear consumed me. The foreigner, unable to speak Thai, received explanations. Without them, I couldn't comprehend. The guy was thrown into pickup trucks and transported to the station. There he immediately flushed the drugs down the toilet, but the other problem was the illegal. Billy's firearm was confiscated when he was taken to prison. And there, as expected, they have already inspected every section of it. Billy's bodies were similar. Troop, and went to the photo shoot, one of. The guards were hit by white powder, so he expects to get a new customer for his goods in prison, in addition to the standard ones. Inconvenience. They also beats and had to go through a breakdown. He walked into a crowded barracks. And businessmen appreciated the exotic appearance. Knew him. She laid it down next to her. Kind of not. On the other side was a dead man he recognized. Billy almost hugged him. Zakov was sternly warned that those who smoked or had tattoos would face severe punishment. But Billy didn't understand a word. Dormitory, it seems. On the jar with sprats, prisoners lie practically on the floor. A hug so that, in the morning, you have to get to the water through the crowd. Push for Billy. The washing resulted in a physical altercation with one of the inmates over it. The boxer was thrown into a holding cell, and then moved to another barracks. Baini was housed together with repeat offenders, all of them with his head is covered with tattoos, and they look extremely threatening, according to one authority. Knew a little English. He asked a couple of questions and then made the bull do push-ups. His rear end is constantly touched, suggesting various implications. Is Billy out of trouble? And he went back to his corner, but was kicked off and forced to move closer to the toilet afterwards. The inspection was invited. A skinny young boy among the bandits. A scuffle started, but the boss quickly calmed everyone down. How? Not in time for the new guy. It was late at night. Go away. It was set up. On your knees, and they moved the knife to his face. Only half a meter away from him, see. That skinny bastard had a session. Collective male love itself was strictly instructed to keep its mouth shut. After seeing the Englishman becoming unable to sleep anymore, the boy finally understood. What's another day in this hell not? It will hold him in the morning. The dead body was taken out of Baraka V. The pharmacy was denied painkillers, although they should. They generously gave out pills for free. Like him. You will have to pay for cigarettes. The stranger was furious, and pounced on guards all by themselves. Of them, not even. I almost bit my throat. Now he's prepared to attack anyone for any of these tattoos, but the intensifying fury within him. As a result, they were beaten with batons and thrown to die in a dark and desolate cellar. However, he came out. Transvestite. There are many prisoners named Fame in prison. Keep using prohibited substances, including controlled ones. Billy, Fame with his own. Friends of lady boys. Caused a real sensation. Billy expressed his gratitude to them. Fame for what she helped him then. The girl works. Did Billy throw it away at the prison store? He owed her a pack of cigarettes, which he later exchanged for drugs in the barracks. At the same time, the prisoners went for a run. Athletes before. Why did Zeki remove the fan blade in his sleep? I asked the same question, and the warden at the time. Search. Siren blaring. Neighbor? Billy explained. What someone? Killed apparently. She's the one. Everyone's shovel. The prisoners were taken to. The yard is passed on. The cart carried 3 corpses of all the prisoners and began to examine them. The dog smelled something. Did the guards find Billy's clothes? In his shirt of substance, except that this shirt had just been given to him by a dealer who was standing next to him. It's even small. Billy managed to convince the security on him, and they, taken away. In that place, we staged a flogging performance to the ribbon, allowing all the prisoners to hear the cries of the bandits. Billy's dependency brought him to Extremes Guard, who had given him the powder for free, now demanded payment. The ticket must be beaten by 2 Muslim prisoners who interfere with his business. The mad bull fell on him. Kitchen and just destroyed those 2? He them practically killed him. Although the guard only asked, it broke after being beaten. Billy He even refused the next dose and burst into tears when he realized what he had become, Billy decided. Leave permanently at night, but neighbors on time. Something went wrong and called Bill's guard. A young friend came to see him. The boy boasted that he won the tournament on mine. They, an Englishman. In response, he only cried silently. Visit. He reminded the boy. Billy about what? Boxing has always played an important role in his life, so he directed a joint gym, but the door closed right in front of his nose. The guy asked not to drive him away and at least give him one chance to show himself in the ring, but his coach and, can't you hear? Billy sincerely apologized. To fine him for not returning it, money for those cigarettes. And then he asked again, give him a loan? This time he used cigarettes as payment to gain an opportunity for training at the gym. The coach showed interest in the newcomer and invited him to box in the ring. He decided, check the Englishman, and put him in sparring with one of the Thai fighters. He began to shower. They were blows. He was forced to adopt a deep defensive stance. During the routine roll call, the recidivist was turned over. Attention to, what a face. Billy turned into a solid bruise. They lifted her. The boxer's laugh is about anger and despair. I beat the pair and screamed at the top of my lungs all training. Thai boxers started talking about it. The weirdo thrives in the barracks and gamblers. Games today bets are accepted on the victory of one of the fighting fish. Billy also put 2 packs. The cigarette won. They refused to pay him. Ash is a bookie. Even broke the bottle to cut it, but the chief insisted. To ensure that the rule is followed, they finally beat. He paid off with fame, and at the same time he decided that it was time to arrange a personal life and began to approach a trans girl. Fane admitted that she had to kill her own father. The man attacked his son when he found out that he wanted to change gender. Billy is taught the peculiarities of Muay. Not only does he need to rebuild, but this combat differs greatly from the boxing he knows. Learn to kick your feet, and what especially? A little unusual. Lee doesn't fight in. Did they clinch Billy and weigh him afterwards? What did they find him? The right opponent. And they even had a quick battle of views. He had to in the ring. It's not sweet, but the ring girl is his girlfriend. Fame. By the 4th round, I killed. My eye swelled and my ear was torn, having long forgotten about it. Protect them with... The enemy is simple. Powerful lateral long ones were exchanged. The grueling fight ended with a meat grinder from which they beat. Emerged victorious. The Thai was sent to a deep knockout after the fight. Watched everything. The prison authorities decided to transfer Bill to the cell with the other boxers, as it would benefit him. Privileges, huh? Also, will take part in the national tournament according to my Thai Billy. One foreigner who was given this. The English people possess 2 distinct attributes. Months to prepare. Did my father know where he was now? Billy is present and he wrote something. A letter to him. Did Billy make friends with his little one? Neighbor, the rest. Did the prisoners look at him? A wolf in a new barracks. Slightly more flexible. Bill became to train intensively every day. Athletes eat right in the hall. Who's man? Bill, who won 13 years in the past, accepted responsibility. Friends finding out what you'll have to sit. For 5 years he went on a rampage and killed 3 people. Now he will never be released. Another type was born in a poor family and decided to get rich as a bookmaker. I managed to kill 2 before. Acquired this for a lifetime. At night, they were surreptitiously killed and hidden. The tattooing process is completed. During training, the prayer coach smokes and kicks directly in the ring. They continue to be the weakest aspect. Billy, but the problem, rather in technique than force, Billy beats with all his heart. He continued his relationship with, despite his fame, he noticed a girl, company alone, of former neighbors, and he cheered her. Because of this, Bill was upset and accepted it again. He began to behave in an erratic manner, like a mad Englishman, causing concerns among others in the ring. He basically attacked an athlete and attempted to trample him, and subsequently, a whole crowd overwhelmed him inadequately. Why did the guards abandon him and let him get beaten? He continued to go crazy there. But then he calmed down and brought his thoughts. All right, Bill. I spent an hour and a half in the cell. Month before he was allowed to return to the barracks, the athletes arranged. Give him a beating. Bill made an effort to apologize to the man afterward. Attacked at practice. He was brought to complete exhaustion, and then the crowd massaged every muscle. Bill forgave his transgression. This evening, the prisoners were awaiting a cultural event for which trans girls are responsible. Tasma and Kovatai took turns singing to the man of her dreams, while Bila gazed intently at him. The very next day, the coach arrived. Taught Bill to elbow C. Reverse Bill owed him a substantial amount of money for various drugs. Surrounded and kicked. Crowd Englishman. Will receive money for winning the tournament otherwise. Case to him. The blood of Zeke infected with AIDS will be injected. During training, Bill felt extremely sick, ran to the toilet, and experienced significant bleeding from the constant boxing. Alcohol and drugs killed, diagnosed rupture. Spleen still, one injury and a billiard. Nevertheless, the guy did not refuse. From a trip to the tournament, the team was brought to another. Prison. It was installed in the center of the yard. Ring to Bill. It's time to go out and fight, but he's tormented by terrible ones. Pain. The guy gathered himself and walked through the crowd of spectators. Entered the ring. Bill bowed to the jailer's hand. I saw his mighty. Enemy. As expected, the fight was preceded by ritual. Dance. Round 1, Bill started aggressively. He tries to dominate and suppress his opponent. Power. However, it melts. Dropped Bill on the mat, after which Pod burst his foot in the stomach. Guy. Despite suffering a severe injury, he got up and kept going until the race ended, while Bill succumbed. On your knees. And the enemy struck again. His foot is the English. They hold on to the god Estonet. It hurts. He needs to finish the fight as soon as possible. In this condition, he can only protect himself, with Bill closely watching Tom. To lose, but unexpectedly. He reversed the situation, elbowing his fingers, and was eventually knocked out by a foreign competitor. Won. However, Bill immediately got into trouble and lost. Consciousness is half. He waged an internal battle. The man was ultimately saved, though he bled profusely. He woke up in the city hospital, beat, thought it would be a good idea to try and escape. He just walked out of the hospital with a chain on his feet and go somewhere forward. But some moment. He came to his senses and returned to the ward. When it hit, I heard he was brought back to the church. Prison. There he was already waiting for him. His father, by the way, played him. The real Billy. Moore. The guy served time. In Thai. Prison. 3 years after which he was transferred to a British prison in 2010 and released under an amnesty. King of Thailand. Billy? He wrote a compelling book and devoted his entire life to aiding other addicts, correct? Get on. He could not premiere this film. Because Billy committed a robbery at his neighbor's barn back home, resulting in a sentence of 2.5 years.